one of the things I want to ask about is how did you recharge coming off the campaign? I was reading somewhere that you went hunting.
I went deer hunting. Yeah, I'm a big hunter.
Was that her deer up there?
Yeah, it's my daughter. So I took my daughter Liza,
Yeah.
who was 10. She's now 11. She was 10. Minimum age is 10, where we come from, and I took her deer hunting, and she got her first buck, a nice 10-pointer.
Okay.
That was really
she
exciting.
shot that.
Yeah, that's her deer.
Okay, that's awesome.
And my first deer was what we call a button buck. You know anything about deer? A yearling when I was a kid. So to get a 10-pointer is your first deer. So I bought my daughter a deer rifle the prior Christmas. She took her hunter safety courses. I've taken her to the range, taught her how to shoot it. She's really good with it.
What was she shooting? 243,
a Remington 700. They make a junior model for like kids.
Yeah.
And I got her that with a good scope, and she was shooting it really well. And so I spent the week hunting with her, and it's fantastic. And we sit together. That to me is relaxing. I miss bow season, which is where I do a lot of my relaxation, sort of soul searching.
Well, and that's something I wanted to ask you about too. So Fred Barnes in a recent Weekly Standard dubbed you Mr. Prudence, and you also used that word in your speech at the National Review Institute Summit. So can you talk a little bit about how do you, coming off an election, oppose the president in a way that is constructive and...
Yeah. I mean, look, prudence is good judgment in the art of governing. It's being realistic. It's advancing your principles, for sure, but advancing them in a realistic way given reality and the circumstances that surround us today. We're in the minority. We understand that. We're not going to go backwards on our principles. We're going to go forward on our principles, but we may not be able to go as forward as we would like.
Sure.
So I'll take a couple of steps forward instead of maybe a mile forward, so long as I'm going in the right direction.
Do you have a sense, coming off the campaign, that there's appetite among the electorate for entitlement reform, that entitlement reform...
Absolutely. Look, I've been doing entitlement reform for years. I've been offering specifics. I've been passing budgets, and we're still standing. I think we in the House have proven that this is no longer the third rail of politics. Case in point, we have run on overhauling the Medicare system. 3 years in a row we've passed this in the majority. And we won the senior vote in this last election.
You talk regularly about a debt crisis in the future. In one of the speeches I was watching, sort of leading up to the interview, you used the phrase something to the effect of one of the goals is to keep the bond markets at bay.
Yeah.
So give me a sense of what a debt crisis looks like, and how far out it potentially is for the United States.
Yeah, this is why I try to tell people we're not going to have some grand bargain that fixes all the problems. There's just too big of a difference between ourselves and the president on just philosophy. But hopefully we can buy the country time by keeping the bond markets at bay. What that means is the bond market, those people who lend us money to cash flow our government, pension funds, central banks, you name it, the bond markets, there may come a time where they conclude we're not going to pay back all our money. We're not doing what we need to do to get our finances in control, and therefore they'll charge a premium to lend us more money. Meaning, they'll charge us more to lend us their money,
right?
And interest rates will spike on us. And once that lack of confidence occurs, which can come without a moment's notice, you have a debt crisis on your hands. That is what's engulfing Europe right now. That's what happened to Greece. That's what's happening to the southern European nations. That's why they're entering another recession. That's a crisis.
So you were out stumping for the immigration reform with Congressman Gutierrez earlier this week. So just give me a sense of what your principles on immigration reform are, and why you are sort of going out and sticking your neck out to some extent to champion it.
Sure. Look, we should be the party of immigrants, because what's an immigrant? It's a person who takes a risk, self-selects to leave their home in search of a better life and to come here and work to make a difference, to make themselves better. They're entrepreneurs. We're the party of entrepreneurs. And so to me, this country is still that melting pot that my Irish ancestors came to enjoy. And we need to be the party of entrepreneurship, of hard work, that in this country, you work hard, you play by the rules, you can get ahead. That's the American idea. And we are the party of the American idea. And so I think that we have sent confusing signals to some populations in this country as to whether or not we want that for them or not, and we clearly do.